3-Point Shot, Chapter 12. As the day gave way to night, that night gave way to the day of Casino Night. As Monodam had promised, the students found that their closets, which previously held only copies of their uniforms, now had a piece of formal evening wear to aid the tone of the occasion. Kaede once again led the morning breakfast meeting. Okay everyone, let's go over the plan one more time. The evening starts at 6 p.m. We'll give everyone about 15 minutes to gather together, and then we'll split up. We'll have free gaming until 7, and after that we'll move to the banquet dinner that Tojo-san prepared. That'll take us to about 7:45, which will give us 15 minutes to clean up before the poker tournament, which Iruma-san has donated a top secret prize for, she trailed off. It'll blow your mind holes, Miyu boasted. I'm sure, Kaede deadpanned. At 9 o'clock, we'll have 30 minutes for Yumeno-san's magic show, which will feature a transmogrification spell. Yumeno-san's magic will be sure to amaze and astound, Tenko cheered. Himiko nodded silently. And I'll finish us up afterward with a piano performance, Kaede summarized. Any questions? I got one, Kaito chimed in. Where the hell's Maki roll? I'm afraid she still will not leave her lab, Kirumi explained. God damn it! I have half a mind to give that girl a good talking to, the astronaut protested. He probably could have stopped with, I have half a mind, Kokichi sneered. You be quiet, Kaito snapped. Make me. Both of you, please contain yourselves, Kibo shouted. Fighting solves nothing. So you're not a combat robot? Kokichi inquired. You can't fight, you can't fly, how are you supposed to be the ultimate robot? I am fully functional, Kibo protested. So does that mean you do have a— Enough, Kaede yelled. Can we please get through one meeting without a fight breaking out? Like, Kaede's totally right, Angie agreed. If we'd all just listen to what God tells us, we wouldn't be having these kinds of problems. That true, Gonta cheered. We should pay more attention to God, you know. The group was taken off guard by Gonta's claim.
Gonta-kun, you believe in Angie-san's God?
Shuichi inquired. Angie-san explained it to Gonta, and it all make perfect sense. God take care of all of us, like Gonta take care of insects. Humans are not insects, Tenko protested. Tenko will not back down from an insult hurled by any degenerate male, even one as big as you.
It's a figure of speech,
Himiko muttered. Tenko stepped back. Oh right, Tenko shouldn't overreact so much.
Maybe you should run more. Himiko
offered.
It'll burn off that extra energy.
It's decided! Tenko will run 10 more laps around the school than normal, the Aikido-loving girl declared.
I didn't mean that much.
Himiko's words fell on deaf ears as Tenko set out. She's wound a bit tight, isn't she? Korikyo commented. I've seen her run laps, Ryoma explained. She gets some of those workout clothes in the storeroom and runs more times than I care to count. And she's pumping 10 kilo weights in each hand the whole way. Whoa! Kaito muttered. Maybe we should add that to our training, eh? Shuichi, Akamatsu, what do you think? Kaede gulped and Shuichi merely slammed his head down onto the cafeteria table. Not hearing a no! As the hour approached, Kaede, decked out in her new dress, knocked at Shuichi's door. Saihara-kun, are you ready yet? We've gotta— She was interrupted as the door swung open. The detective stepped out, dressed in a midnight blue 3-piece suit. Wow, Kaede stammered. Shuichi simply blushed in response. It seemed that he too was taken aback, though in his case, by Kaede's slim scarlet backless dress. You look really nice, Shuichi said, finding his voice. Thanks, Kaede replied sheepishly. You too. The two stood in silence for just a moment. So we should get going, right? Shuichi asked. Oh, yeah, the pianist replied. The two left the dormitory in a somewhat embarrassed silence. The casino hall was abuzz with excitement as the class grouped up. Alright everyone, thank you for coming, Kaede announced. Once again, we'll begin with a bit of free gaming, so play whatever floats your boat. However, anyone who wants to help out Tojo with the food, you are free to do so. I insist that I don't require assistance, Kirumi commented. But we want to help, Kaede argued. Speak for yourself, Kokichi shouted. Anyway, Kaede said, changing the subject. Dinner's at 7 o'clock, and the night ends with the nighttime announcement, so until then, have fun! The 13 students went their separate ways, each with a task or game in mind. But as the group split up, Kokichi kept still. He had every intent of joining the festivities, but the trickster had an insidious plan in mind. He looked to his watch. 9:35. That's when I'll do it. God damn it! Kaito lamented his luck. The slot machines were very much living up to their nickname of one-armed bandits, as far as the astronaut was concerned. These damn things are totally rigged! I must disagree. Kaito turned to see Ryoma had acquired quite a respectable haul from the nearby slots. What the hell? What are you doing so different from me? Nothing. It's just blind luck after all. Man, you really are lucky, aren't you? Ryoma scoffed. A man in jail can hardly call himself lucky. Well, you aren't in jail now, Kaito argued. Technically, anyway.
A prison's a prison.
Do prisons have casino nights? Do prisons have food like Tojo's? Well, no, Ryoma begrudgingly replied. So cheer up, man. Life's going pretty good for you right now. Ryoma pondered this for a moment before his thought process was interrupted by a scream of frustration. Oh!
The two turned to see Gonta, doing not so well at a driving game.
Gonta no realize cars this tricky. Kaito shook his head. A man's work is never done, am I right? He walked towards the self-styled gentleman. Come on, bro, let's have you try the fishing one. Ryoma watched this with calculating eyes. My life's going good, huh? The food was simply divine, as to be expected by now of Kurumi's work. The primary course was consisted of thinly sliced trout with dishes of rice to the side. These dishes were all colored to resemble poker chips. There were deep-fried satsuma age, vegetable nimono, and yakitori for people to choose from based on their preference. Dessert was set to be manju in the shape of various animals, such as dogs or cats. Bears were naturally excluded, of course. As the group dug in, light conversation persisted. So, God totally told Angie that Gonta was the perfect person to have join her student council, and I think it's all gonna work out great. Korikyo nodded at Angie's words. I must say, I find your belief system fascinating. I would love to discuss it more in depth at some point. Like, absolutely! Angie bets she can make a true believer out of Korikyo. Korikyo chuckled. I don't really want to tie myself down to any one faith. That's no big, Angie explained. God takes whatever form you need to give you the guidance you seek. I see, Korikyo noted. Tell me, what does your God tell you about the afterlife? The afterlife?
Yes, I've always held a soft spot for learning more about interpretations of that particular concept, the anthropologist shared.
Coolio, Angie exclaimed. Okay, so like when you die, your spirit goes to be one with God and stuff. So when God is with you, the people you love who are dead are with you too. This intrigued Korikyo. Ah, I see. I've often believed I've heard the voice of someone I lost. Oh, who was it? The artist asked. The girl I loved. Korikyo replied, barely above a whisper. I don't really like to talk about it. That's no problem, Angie reassured. You can tell Angie more when you're comfortable with it. I'll keep that in mind, Korikyo said. Angie failed to notice the sinister tone the long-haired boy had adopted in that moment.